On this episode, we talk about album covers. Are they really dead? Okay, first and foremost, before I start the video, I want to thank Ran down at Flux. Thank you, sir. You rock. I did not expect that at all. And for all the new subscribers and all the people who came down from Flux, welcome to the vlog. Welcome to my creative lifestyle. And thank you again, Ran. I really, really appreciate it, man. Your stuff is amazing. Is album covers really dead? And that's the emphasis of this video. And so, as for me, as a creative person working on my portfolio, I really wanted to do an album cover and the whole sleeves and everything, but I realized that, you know, no one really listens to vinyl. Is coming back, but no one, you know, it's not like 10 years ago or 15 years ago. I remember, you know, I'm 28, and I remember in high school I used to carry CDs in my backpack, and I remember we used to change the CDs and put new CDs in. You know, it was a big deal. We opened it, and then I still was in that generation, and I grew up in the pre-MP3 and the discs, and you know, the first iPods and the iPhones, and then now we're streaming. And I think that it's very important to have cover art for music. A good representation of a good album that, you know, that defines me as my soundtrack is obviously the Appetite for Destruction album. And I remember having a big poster when I was, you know, a teenager, and that freaking album was just amazing, and amazing artwork. And another one that is amazing is this one right here, Pink Floyd album. Who doesn't like Pink Floyd, right? It's so amazing. And this album kind of pretty much represent what it was in the 70s. And if we look into the history of album covers, we look at, in 1939, Alex Steinweiss designed the first original cover art for the 78 RPM record album. And that was from Columbia Records. And that just goes to show you that it came from a long way till it is now. And even though, like, you know, you can only see it this big on, you know, on your iPod or on your phone, you know, I still think it's very important to have an album cover. So first I had to decide on what should I pick as an album cover, and the first thing that came into mind was who do I think that, you know, is coming up and who's killing the scene right now. And when I was at Coachella this past year, I think the best performance there at Coachella was not Guns N' Roses, even though I was there to see them. The person who blew my mind was Sia, and the performance and everything was just on point, on, you know, the originality of it, and her having her dancers and her singing in the background, and it was just beautiful. Her, you know, minimal colors, and it's just a stage, you know, it's just a stage with a square background, and then the dancers just dancing around with spotlights on them. So minimalistic, and she was really defined colors, and she nails it. You know, it's just, that's where the future is going to, you know, minimalism. And I think her music represents what I want to do in my portfolio. So in that note, I created something for that scene. You know, when I was watching her play, you know, it was just that square, you know, right there, and the dancers in the silhouettes. Let me get started on what I have in mind. First, obviously, is research, development, and then production and execution. So let's do research and development right now, and let's do it. obviously I went with the minimalist approach, and I decided, you know, what kind of products should I put this on other than the vinyl, and I decided to put them on cassettes and tapes and other things, because why not? You know, it's a dying something, but it's just a representation of music and the life cycle of all these implementations of visualizing and hearing. So I just managed to put it in all in different segments, and I used a template from another book, which, let me get back to you on that. Okay. I took a reference from this book right here, which has become my #1 Bible at the moment, and it's called The New Simplicity in Graphic Design by Stuart Hawley, and it's a good minimalist book. But in this book, I usually grab ideas and templates from them, and was the idea that I got from this book. So, you know, you got tapes on here, and you also got very simple but very effective. It kind of reminds me of the Kanye West album. I can't think of it right now. Yeast's album. I don't know why I'm referencing him a lot, but yeah, I took that as inspiration and I used it as a template to put my graphics on. So let me show you what I made. Okay, so this is what I created. First, I create the signages, or the idea of a identity. So I always make a logo for some reason, but that's my logo for this one. It's Sia. This is kind of the graphics that I come up with, and you know how her wig is always either gold or black, or blonde or black, but it pretty much represents her identity of her wig and her, you know, mysterious look that she has to herself. So that's that, and I added the lines as kind of like representing like the hair of some sort, or just give it more a feel of it, like something to grab onto, not so it could be all boring, just 2 lines. And then we move into the actual layout of the picture here of her. And this is the part where I tell you about how she has her dancers dance on the platform, and in the background it's a lit up kind of a projection screen, and she's singing in the background, but I put her on the forefront because obviously it's about her, and her dancers are just kind of the characteristics of her. So I kind of did that, you know, and that's kind of, if you go to a Sia concert, you know what I mean. It's kind of, I think this represents like in the foundation of what she is, and I try to make that work. I just did black and white because if I tried adding color, but it's just such a symbolic form and such a good punch that it doesn't really need nothing more. So I kept it like that. And here's a mini disc drive. I think this is an SIM card. An actual album cover, and this is where the transparency comes in, where I try to add the transparency, and then her in the back, because she's, you know, a hidden creature, but in the end, but she's very transparent with her music and her live appearances. So I kind of put that together, and her performances are very minimalistic, so I made that as well. And then this will kind of be the mock-ups of all of them in general. So yeah, that's pretty much my representation of an album cover art that would be for Sia. And I highly recommend that if you ever have an opportunity to make cover art, album covers, I totally do it, man, because it is a dying breed, but it's also a very beautiful thing. It's a music identity, and I think it should be something that every album should have. But thanks for watching this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Also, share. If you like this video, share it with anyone who wants to see it. Share with your friends, post it online, and if you think anybody would be interested in watching this video, do it. Thanks for watching.